Welcome back, baby faces. Victor Villain here, and I got some hungry wolves out here.
Yo, get off my leg, yo. Stop doing that.
Mischief,
Follow the buzzer.
Elite Steve.
So I can't have nice things, man.
Pretty chubby Flacco, what up?
These
Old school joke.
JP Savage, the people savage in the building.
Open your eyes, motherfucker. What are you talking like that for?
My eyes are always open.
Savage.
you sound like Bray Wyatt.
Gentlemen, we are
Favorite
back.
or Major Pain.
We are back, and do we got some shit to say today? TV though. TV though.
I feel like Chris Jericho should come out with the list of 1,000 moves.
All right, how about this?
Botches?
Yeah,
We get straight into it right now with the moment that everybody wants to talk about. Rey Mysterio signing to WWE.
How fantastic is that?
How
right?
dope is that, guys?
Yeah. Do you think he'll stable up like they're supposed to say, right? The rumor was the Latin stable.
Nope.
Nah?
Well,
He's missing
listen,
a 5-sided figure.
but
Ooh,
that's in the works, right?
And a bird.
Nah. His contract is like a year and a half or 2 years or 18 months, something like that. I heard
to
the
be
number.
extended at some point, depending on what's happening, right? It's just a feeler, right?
Ray is up there though.
Yeah.
Does he really want to keep going?
Yeah,
I think Ray.
No,
At least Steve has mentioned this in the past. If he's on a part-time deal, right, where he's wrestling very, very regimented and calculated, I don't think there's a problem.
But you're right. Ray did have
what it is, no? It's
it was a 2-year part-time deal, but at 18 months he can like.
Dip.
He can dip.
Right, right.
So it's like a player option.
Great
dude. But Pentagon, he's got a deal for like 18 months. That's what I'm saying. I think it's with MLW or somebody else.
Is it Impact?
Right. Shout out to MLW.
It's not Impact. It's not Impact.
And then the other one also has a contract. So like
brother.
Yeah. So
Phoenix.
he's it doesn't look good for that to happen in the near future, at least.
Until the 18 months are up.
It's not happening for another 2 years.
Jump.
And that's what keeps
2
Rey
years.
Mysterio another 2 years. Do you think that's the ultimate plan?
I don't think he waits for them.
I think by that point Trips is in power already, and he's gonna do the thing that they did with Joe, where like they can work these little independent dates if they really want to.
you
on the side.
gotta keep that in mind, man. You never know when Vince is gonna be out.
Dude, in 2 years.
Triple H is gonna hold.
Dude, XFL comes out what next year?
Yeah.
You know what?
I don't know if he's gonna be in power though.
Dude, but look, you gotta
relinquish 100% control.
You got not 100%.
I don't know 100%.
I think he hands over the reins slowly but surely because. Oh no, of course, but he's still 100% hands on. Like he's still doing almost everything.
Of course.
What leads me to believe that Trips is taking over in the near future is he was having meetings with Impact.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Like it wasn't Vince's team; it was Trips' team. Like.
You could look at that both ways and say that Vince wasn't going to waste his time. You know what I mean? And like send the heavy hitters.
You can.
Like he sent the B team.
I see Triple H,
but I do see Triple H as the future of the company.
I don't think he views Triple H as somebody low like that to have to handle that.
But he's not going to.
No, I don't think Vince is gonna. I think if he was gonna send anybody, it would have been like J&J Security. Like I don't think he's sending his son-in-law, who's supposed to be running the company at some point. I don't think he's sending them that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
So,
but I don't think it's gonna happen in 2 years.
I don't know, 2 years, maybe 3, 4, more likely.
Listen,
but
he's older.
It depends on the success of the XFL. If it's getting traction, Vince is gonna need more time over there.
And if these QBs getting these sacks and these flags,
yo, shout out to our fantasy
maybe the
league.
XFL will be able to.
At least
I'm being robbed by 0.6 points.
3-0. Mischief 3-0.
Hold on.
Congrats,
but you go
fucking
start
assholes.
with at least Steve. He's in number 2.
Well, yeah, you're
by
right.
0.6, motherfucker. What you
go by an inch or
it don't
by a
matter.
mile, right?
All right, Vin Diesel.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
matter.
Legend.
The worst record will get penalized and will be brutally punished.
Yeah,
Oh
sick.
wow, you're just gonna
Just
introduce that.
gonna throw that in.
So you take it. So
I'm
you're a
not concerned.
masochist.
Okay.
no sodomy.
Good luck.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I'm
No
on
sodomy.
3. How the fuck you think I feel about that shit?
Damn, I wouldn't
But I'm
even
gonna
say
win.
nothing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna win.
I hope you
know?
don't botch
my
that
nuts
season.
are gonna win.
That's what happens when you don't put money up, motherfucker.
You know who couldn't say nothing though?
Who?
Liv Morgan.
Savage.
Damn. All right, let's get.
No. Wait. We gotta get through news. We got. All right, wait. Let's start Raw. At least. We haven't even started Raw.
All right, bet. Me and Yim signs with WWE. Moving on. right?
William in the Million Classic.
Shout out. She
This
was
gonna
like,
be,
yo, it
this gonna
happened.
be an episode, folks. You don't know what you in for.
Speaking of botches, right? Sasha Banks gets injured, right? And she's gonna stay injured. And she gets replaced by Mickie James. Yeah, you wanted to not talk about it, right? So this is us not talking about it.
So is this really an injury?
Well,
Yeah.
Sasha Banks, I think
Yeah.
she's legit.
You got to look at
She injured herself
Look.
backstage?
She might have injured herself, but I don't think it was backstage. Probably
Because I haven't seen her do
Being
anything in a
reckless.
while.
she was tagging with Bailey until Bailey hugged her too hard and she broke a
Hey.
rib. She's like,
I'll take one.
Those flying tags are intense.
You know who's not going to get injured? Shawn Guerrero, because she just got signed to WoW.
Isn't she more likely to get injured then?
I mean, JR broke some ribs. JR broke some ribs, right? Hey, Shaw, be careful. Your English has been up to in Milwaukee.
Oh,
shout outs.
Yo.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that too, baby. Speaking of baby, Britt Baker, baby.
Mm.
How many times are you going to fucking say it in this segment, man?
Baby.
Jesus Christ.
Baby.
Britt Baker, baby, suffered, baby, a dislocated,
Holy
baby, shoulder,
fuck.
baby, during last week's, baby, next NXT.
All right.
Oh, you mad, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
I think she's just trying to take some time off to actually focus on her practice.
You know who
She
else
is
should
a
focus
medical-
on her practice?
Hey, yo.
We're gonna get to it.
Oh my god.
Yo, let's start Raw. Let's start
Goldberg's
Raw.
thinking about retiring soon.
It would be an
Dude, come on,
interesting.
both of
Listen,
them.
it would be an interesting twist to see Goldust managing Mandy Rose, just like Melina used to manage him outside the ring with the fucking cigar.
Yo,
That would be dope.
Light a cigar.
Savage.
JP,
Yeah,
JP.
Yeah, good
That
shit
rocks.
with
I like
That's
that.
right. That would be dope.
Ellie Steve,
I mean-
what's up with your boy, man? He wants to fight Cesaro? Matt Riddle?
Yes, I did hear about that. You know, and I heard Cesaro said, "Yeah, but you got to put on shoes."
Savage.
Yo, I think he gotta put on shoes. Fuck that.
What? He
What
gonna
the
get
fuck you
some
think this is
bacteria on
UFC?
it.
Nah, he
Shut
can't
up.
regulate up in here. Put
Look.
some fucking shoes on.
Nah.
Yeah, so you can take those kicks to the chest.
All right, yeah.
Ooh.
So you go and tell
Or
him that.
head.
To the chest.
Tell him to put on shoes.
Or head.
to the chest.
Yo, so
Bro.
what? So
Bro.
what, man? Everyone's stuck. I bet you he wears those Vibram shoes, the ones with the finger shoes.
He wore his girl shorts last
I
on his
just,
debut.
I just don't know how that man doesn't have like some tenactin in his locker room or like some athlete's foot, because how's he walking barefoot all over the world?
Nah, he's got flip flops.
Those are the paper ones you
And
get from a
someone
pedicure.
puts that shit on their face.
They work.
Someone's like in the crowd, like, "Oh, I got his flip flop. It smells just like him." Fucking
I heard he
weirdo.
goes backstage afterwards and he chases that fan and gets flip flops back.
Savage.
All right, that's a lot.
Raw,
Raw?
gentlemen. Raw. Let's do this.
Can we speed through these
TV
things?
was wonderful.
No. You know what was
Go ahead,
wrong?
Vic.
There's only one thing I really want to talk about.
Yo, TV was wonderful, but
Yo,
let's go in order. Let's go in
TV
order.
was for all the shit.
Yeah.
That we've given
WWE,
Yo,
this was the most cohesive week of wrestling
No doubt.
in a while.
No
Kudos
fucking
to you
doubt.
guys.
no fucking-
I've been a major critic. We've all been major critics of
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
This beginning. People will shit on it. All right. Like, not everybody's gonna be happy. Twitter was kind of half and half, surprisingly, because
Is it really surprising, though?
overwhelmingly? No, because I was overwhelmingly positive. Like,
You know what was funny about it? That I liked was Triple H's part. What the little words that he said. Let me just jot it
Talking
down.
about
for you.
Connor's cure?
Well, not even before the show
Oh.
started. Before the Shield got in the ring.
I got a beef
I got
with
something
Connor's
to
Cure.
say. I got something to say.
Yeah,
about
I'm a
that.
little. I got something to say about
Yeah.
that myself.
Well, Stephanie McMahon comes out to open the show,
Yeah, I
and
got
Triple
something
H
to say
comes
about
out with Steph, and it's
It's
Steph's birthday, guys. So Baron
birthday.
Corbin's ass kissing away. So Triple H comes out of the limo with Steph, and he leaves with an awkward moment, leaving Steph, giving him a tongue lashing to Corbin about the behavior from last week. How you gonna book yourself in a main event match for the World Heavyweight Universal title?
Shit, I do it.
Yeah, I do it too.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Steph was
Isn't
tight.
that brilliant? Like, that's exactly what
Yeah,
you do.
right.
I'm
But,
a
she got
heel
slapped one
GM.
on the hand. She got
'Cause
slapped one on the hand. This
Yeah,
week.
yeah. That you
So-
take your. Yeah,
So she did. That was a little funny thing because Triple H. Oh, it's awkward. I'm leaving you to it. Good luck.
because you know what Triple H said. I would have done that shit.
Right. Shield opens up the show, guys. They're in the ring and they call out the Dogs of War. They come out to a little beef, but the Dogs of War are
many
trying to
fucking
recruit
dogs.
Dean Ambrose, or are they trying to just start a rift? What are we doing here?
Well, I think the Shield is very disrespectful to Dean Ambrose. Okay.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
So yeah, what about the Shield? They did that to him. Word.
Yeah, yo, it was so they were shining their gold up in the air. And you see Dean Ambrose there, very isolated, not feeling part of the unit.
But that's why you got to give credit to the writing and to the execution.
Good job.
I think everybody played their role really well. I think that
shout out to Dean Ambrose.
Playing the role of like the slighted brother, like very, very
it's a lost talent to be a physical actor, right? Especially in wrestling. And
ironically.
And Dean Ambrose did so much without saying a thing.
Yeah.
In that entire segment.
Which
every
is
time
why
the camera moved onto him, he looked flustered. He looked bothered. He looked annoyed, frustrated.
He looked like me Saturday night while I was in Brooklyn.
Wow.
But we're not gonna talk about that. I was pissed.
Oh,
but we're not gonna get into that.
All right.
Oh, wow.
You brought it up.
I'm just saying.
If you want to hear about it, listen to my podcast, Life of Steve on side.
Wow. Personal plugs out here.
That's doing personal plugs. Okay, McFoley, you cheap pop. What the fuck?
Tonight we're
in City, New Jersey.
Bang bang. No, but which leads me to believe Dean Ambrose is gonna be the next like breakout star for WWE. I think he can do so much with so little. I mean, look at his WWE Championship run. It flew under the radar, but if you watch it back, it's one of my favorite reigns.
He's been a very consistent performer.
Yeah, shout out to Ziggler bringing that up too.
He can be Stone Cold.
He can
without the profanity.
He's more. I think he's more Roddy Piper though.
Maybe
a combination.
You could say Stone Cold was a Roddy Piper of his time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is
maybe The Rock more,
Pillman.
right?
No, yeah.
No, I like
maybe
the Piper.
The Rock
I like
more.
the Piper, but
Nah,
it's
'cause
just
The Rock was
some would even say Stone Cold was a CM Punk of his time. So
what? No one said that. I don't know anybody.
I mean, that could be an argument, but the thing is, then his own podcast. But something has to change. Something has to evolve.
He needs a big time rival, and I think they're setting this up perfectly because right now, looks like he hates just about everybody that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
And that's perfect.
I'd have him fight them all.
That's a perfect Stone Cold move. Like
I'm gonna fight everybody.
Fight the world, and he'll do it by himself.
And that's why the writing was fantastic because if you heard Ziggler in this promo, hitting on those points, how the Shield has disappointed him time and time again. I think at one point he mentioned, "Did you even receive a phone call from them when you were out?"
Right.
He's like, I think he said,
even though shout out to Renee because Renee even followed up with all that storyline too. She's like, I don't check his phone, but has he? Has he?
Yeah.
Now Renee's been really good, yo. She's been really solid.
Looking amazing.
But this whole segment again, I can't stress this enough. It was well done on all parts, man. You got to give credit where credit is due.
This
show
segment.
was really.
How do you feel about the next segment? Jinder Mahal versus Finn Balor.
And then I went to go pee. I don't know what happened. Finn and Jinder, although Bailey had a nice showing in this match.
They had their respective mixed match challenge partners with them. So Bailey was in Finn's corner. I think Foxy was in Jinder's
Fox.
corner.
That's cool, but just keep that shit separate. I think
I just find it very ironic that they show Jinder bullying Sunil Singh in the middle of the ring, and then they do the Connor's cure for Konnor. Like
it's better than the
so many mixed.
He did his shanty after.
Say that to the judge.
I love crazy Alicia Fox.
Yeah, she's always great.
Shout out to Alicia Fox, man. She's a great worker.
Yeah.
All right. You know who's not a great worker? I think
that's it.
I don't want to talk about Raw anymore.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, we're gonna do it now?
All right. So there was a 6-woman tag of death match.
What happened
this week? And okay, let me just go over the match real quick before I'm a lot. Obviously, a lot of us had a lot to say. The internet was.
You know who should have gone over the match?
Savage.
Jesus Christ.
Some would say Liv Morgan.
I didn't say that.
Right, so the Bellas and I believe it was Natty squared off with the Riot Squad. Obviously, we all know what happened here, but it was kind of difficult to watch in real speed, man. Like I saw the match like 3 times already.
He said the batch.
The batch.
Is that what we're officially calling any match? The Brie Bellas in
No, it's Botch Mode.
Batch.
Listen.
Mischief. We got into
no story short, right? We got into a spirited debate, me and New Era Podcast, but gentlemen's disagreement, I will say.
Okay.
Brie fucked up.
Yeah.
Brie fucked up. Listen, you can you can be in an accident and be at fault. It's the basis of our insurance system.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Right?
fucked.
You can get into an accident, something that you did not intend to happen, and still have
right.
been like, damn,
So-
I could have done
so
something to avoid that.
Let's put it like this. I stopped at a railroad track. This lady hit the back of my car. I had to pay her. I don't know how the fuck that works, but it works. Like I said, someone.
That's not how that works.
That is how that works.
You need to look at your policy.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I'm concerned on so
Needless
many
to say, we
levels.
No,
switched to
but
Geico. After
Bree,
that.
Listen, we have seen this woman, and mind you, let's not discredit the fact that brand new mom out of the ring for a while, gets
Nah,
thrown
let's
into the
discredit
shuffle.
that.
No,
It's been 2 years.
because the fact that she's on there, cool.
Nah, get
But
it.
we've seen
Go
her
home.
on a weekly basis mess up in the ring.
Week
And
3.
that's-
This is week 3.
And yeah,
This is week 3, right?
and that's I think the biggest point that people are missing. It's not like, oh, it's not a one-time accident. Like, yo, she's never hurt anybody. Like I haven't heard anybody like miss time.
Exactly.
So
she's
to-
only hurt herself.
To her credit,
Between the ropes.
but she's only hurt herself, and like she misses like very basic moves.
Yes.
and
Like
they've
tags.
She's
like
been
tags,
sloppy since she's
right?
been back.
Like
Is
yo,
it-
it's like suicide dives, like fucking.
Like
you know,
she was
level
really
one.
suicidal.
Is it safe
wow.
to say that she was let pass through the because they go to
Of
the
course they
performance
did.
center before they come
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
right?
of course they
Everybody's
did.
protocol, right?
But you know
Is it
that-
safe to say that they let her pass without?
would it
But do you
really-
think?
but would
Do
it
you
re-
think that like some of these stars have to do that? Like, do you think John Cena has to go down to the PC and
Not John
redo
Cena.
that?
She ain't John Cena.
It
though.
don't matter. They view her like that.
I just
They do.
nah.
I
Yeah,
just-
you know
they
what?
do.
They get a lot of love, and
they
come
sell a
back,
lot of merch.
and they sell
sell a lot
mad
of merch.
Well, you know who mommy married, right?
Of course. But listen, at the end of the day, for me, what this just really just is glaring now is that she's a diva trying to fit in the women's revolution.
Bars. Yes. Bars. That's facts. You're absolutely right.
She's trying to do moves that she cannot execute,
And
especially being
but-
ring rusty.
but that's still not a problem. Like being from the Divas era, that's not a knock on anybody. Because I mean, you got Beth Phoenix and stuff like that. You have these people that can do it. It's just not these two.
But Beth Phoenix has
Actually, I take that back. Nikki, she can hold her own in the ring. I give
she's
her that.
improved.
I give her that.
It's sad to say that Brie at one point was more of a technical wrestler than Nikki was. And right now,
I
she's
think
very rusty.
I think
I've
technically,
never
if she's
liked-
doing
and-
holds
and I think the
submissions,
women-
I think she can be a better wrestler. But that's not what the crowd wants to see. That's why Daniel Bryan's not doing it.
There's people so far ahead of them on the ability scale, on the believability scale that we don't need them. But they do so much merch, like they get the crazy pops, like they're so hot. I just don't see it. But back to like the case at hand. You can be at fault and still it be an accident, and I appreciate that she feels sad. But I Tommy Dreamer, to me, you are a legend. I will forever respect what you say. Especially people that do something that I love that I don't do myself. And so maybe I'll never understand the perspective, but to look at that and to look at the series of events that have led up to this point, all these botches and all these like missed tags and missed suicide dives. Yo, she had a missed tag to Natty where she missed her hand completely. Like just those little lapses in like the finishing touch. She does it repeatedly. She does it on suicide dives. And now this is like the first time that she really got someone hurt. And the internet's jumping on her.
Fuego. Internet's on fire.
And it's
I
kind of
just-
justified.
I want to say, like, throughout all that, like,
fuck 'em.
No, I mean, yeah.
Liv Morgan couldn't say that.
Damn. And so
let me ask you guys this question: were you guys more appalled by the actual kicks that occurred?
No.
Or was it the fact that afterwards she tried to continue the match, not understanding that
No.
what was happening?
I'm even more pissed off that the fact that once she knocked her out and she did the second kick, okay, you did it fucking accident. I get it, whatever.
Of course.
But to not have the
That's
wherewithal in the ring to bring her to the corner right
no,
away.
she did. So that was part of the problem.
She dragged her by her neck.
And yo, that girl, God bless her soul, Liv Morgan. She tried, yo. She tried to get up, and Sarah Logan was fucking horrified. You could say it was acting.
You could
but
read
yo,
her face.
Yo, she
visibly said, like,
I'm
"Oh my god."
I'm gonna tell you why I was very frustrated and annoyed by the situation, because it brings me back to when Owen Hart broke Stone Cold's neck, right? Many people can look at both these situations and say, well, Owen Hart tried to continue, right? No. But Owen Hart saw what was happening
and stopped
and finished the match.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
they
but
got communication.
but
They got
they
communication that said just
that.
finish the
Yeah,
match.
yeah.
Bree was trying to continue all the spots that had ahead, and if you look at this match, there were so many more spots. A 6-woman
Dude,
suplex.
the match had just started.
Liv
That's what
Morgan
I'm saying.
got back into it. So to her credit,
Yeah.
that girl
She
tried.
showed grit.
She
But-
showed
She took that
real
But
grit.
that
So that's
wasn't
triple
Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
No.
Liv Morgan
that
on
ring.
autopilot.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it herself.
But you're talking about someone who, when the Bellas were on the main roster, when they made their debut 10 years ago, was in middle school. How is she more skilled than these chicks?
Old school, you would bring up the age factor
right.
and all of
It's-
this.
But
God damn it.
but
It's
Talent.
I think it's
So
the
is
time
it that
period.
they're more talented?
Nah, the time period that Liv came up in is just a women's empowered world at that point. We were not as progressive back then as we are now. With
So
everything.
you would say the training is more rigorous for women now?
I don't even think that's just wrestling though. I think that's just our world right now. I think everybody.
but what's that got to do with Brie? With
They
all
weren't-
that being
they
said,
weren't-
they should have been sharper than everybody else.
No, because they've only been getting 5 minutes on TV.
I'm talking about Brie and
I'm
Nikki.
saying
Nah.
Yeah, but you
Brie
don't see
and
Nikki
Nikki
out
were
here.
only on TV for
But you
every
don't
5
see-
minutes tops.
You don't see
That's
Nikki
including
out
the
here.
entrances.
You don't see Nikki out here with these botches.
Word.
That's a mom thing, bro. That's
I
a
don't-
mom
I
thing.
don't know.
I don't want to
convinced-
say
I'm
that.
convinced it's a mom thing.
I don't
So-
think it's anything to do with the amount of time she's been wrestling. I think she's just sloppy from coming back after being out. Like,
Right, I think
I
she's
don't
rusty.
think that's. Yeah, I
she's
think that's what it
rusty.
is.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
But yo,
it's
but this
because
is
she's
a lot.
mom. It's
This is
because
a
she's
lot
mom.
of rust. Like the way she's not putting it together. Like yo, she punched Ruby right in the face on
You're
a
right.
on
Yeah,
a
You're
on
right.
the same-
like,
That
on
was
the
another
same
botch.
match.
That was another
Yeah.
botch. You can look at her face. If you look that back,
Ruby
Ruby's
Riott
face
is.
she's
And
pissed. She's
notice
pissed.
there
She's
was
mad.
no move that got Brie on the mat.
No.
Brie
no.
punched Ruby
Right.
and then hung on the ropes, and Logan kind of pulled her down. Like yo, you're supposed to fall.
Right.
Like they
right.
weren't supposed
You
to be.
can
I-
tell that was all shades of fucked up. All shades
Yo,
of fucked
I
up.
think we didn't see Brie on SmackDown the next day because of this.
Ooh, with the Daniel Bryan.
I
that's
don't
a good
even think
point,
it was-
man.
And that's why
I don't
they,
even-
and
That's
I-
a great
they,
point.
they didn't even bring up Maurice.
But I don't even think this was a
No,
thing
Maurice.
with the officials saying, "Nah, you're not going out there." I think this was more to protect her from getting booed the fuck out of the
That's what I'm
building.
saying.
That's a great. That's a
Like-
PR move too. It could be
Yeah.
one of
Yeah,
those-
yeah, they got to
Yeah.
protect
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
turning people on
Especially
Bryan.
yo,
Yeah,
and I legit believe that she
because you
feels
can't,
that.
because you can't afford
Yeah,
to have
of
them
course.
turn on
I
Daniel
just-
Bryan.
Listen,
Maybe they just let her off the PC center on the performance center too quickly.
It's hard for me to believe that
You know?
they're like terrible people, and I know this was an accident, but we're just discussing their performers and they're expected to execute.
Let's
and
talk about the
she has
real.
not been executing.
Let's talk
Mistakes
about the real
happen,
botch.
but they happen
Botch.
more often to some people than others.
Look, the real botch was the referee not calling that match.
Yeah.
He should have called that match.
Yo, in lieu of like CM
Yeah.
Punk winning
They've
that,
done it so many
That's,
times,
and that's
yo.
why I'm saying
With all the concussion stuff going on in
Yeah.
sports,
Yeah.
you don't think
Yeah.
you want to cover your
I mean,
tracks a
it
little
was
better?
She looked
it
horrible.
was so
She looked
immediate.
terrible.
It was so
Terrible.
immediate. You saw the crowd see it.
to
feel
his
it.
credit,
Dude, the
Everybody.
crowd was visibly silent when
he
they
tried
saw
to
that.
keep
Like,
her
it
out
was-
of the match. To his credit, like the ref did tell her not to jump in on that spot.
I
You're
don't
not-
know how
that's it.
many events I've seen in WWF history where somebody gets hurt and they're like, "Well, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this is now turned into a 2-on-3 match."
Yeah, finish
You know
the
what I mean?
match, figure it out.
But that was never going to happen with that situation because everything's so live compared to what it was before. Like,
It's live.
I'm talking about
It's
pay-per-views back in
live.
the
You
day.
free. You
Yeah,
free.
Then
but-
when somebody gets
like,
hurt, that's what it is.
To
These
that-
things happen, man.
Connor
but-
and Chad Gable had a match, guys. In the midst of
yo,
all this
Brie
shit.
Bella and
Yo, I got a question though. I mean, are we wrong? Is this heel turn not gonna happen? And are they making these motherfuckers a tag team now?
Gable.
Because I mean, don't they do this with tag team matches, like tag team feuds?
it's going to
where they have
happen.
one-on-ones?
It's going to happen, but everybody's thinking it's going to happen at a certain time, and it's not going to happen when people want it to. It's like
course
the
I just don't want to be stuck
it's
with
like-
Chad Gable and fucking Bobby.
It's like
Roode,
when
man.
Nakamura was going after the U.S. title, and he should have won it that first night, but they kept putting it off and off and off and off and off, and nobody really gave a fuck anymore.
You think they're gonna make Gable heel?
I would like to see that actually.
I don't care till it happens. I'll be quite
It's
honest.
sad though because we were for a few months now saying Bobby Roode should turn heel, and now we're more excited at the fact
Hey,
of maybe
that has
Gable
nothing to
turning
do-
heel.
You know what? Turn them both fucking heel. I don't give a shit.
Look,
Like
look.
fucking do something with
They
them.
give
Yo.
my-
My-
heel on the tag team.
Show me something.
My view on that is just there's too many big fish in the company right now. There's too many good wrestlers that
Hey.
When
people
you-
are behind.
When you have over 8 hours of programming in a week, there's no such thing.
No, there is.
because you have
There
a
is.
bunch of
No,
talent on Raw that can be on other shows and be utilized.
And you know what? To your point, Triple H taking up time with his backstage segments to promote an Attitude Era match.
Yo, two
Yep.
things he said. As far as taking my soul, I sold that a long time ago.
Bars.
Dope punchline.
Bars.
But then he said he got into our head and he was like, anybody that is honest with themselves can feel it in the air. It's been coming for a while now. When it comes to the Undertaker, the end is near. Yo, how many of us are debating when Taker's hanging him up?
Hey, that's
Those
what
were
you do.
Tupac lyrics.
Is this it? Is he gonna get the send off at MetLife Stadium? Are we gonna be there,
Nah.
guys,
Nah,
for the send off?
nah.
I want it. I want to be there for the
You
send off.
can want it all you want. It's
Yo,
not
this
done.
gotta be it.
No,
Who?
it doesn't.
Taker.
No,
No.
I know, but
Taker.
who? Taker who?
Oh, well, they're gonna have the
and-
tag match, right? The DX.
Yeah,
Oh, no, but he's saying,
Kane
is it
At
Taker and
Mania?
Triple H or Taker and
Nah.
Shawn Michaels? Taker retired Michaels. Michaels returns the favor.
Savage.
Damn, they retired together and just fuck it.
In the
Bars.
ring.
That's a
Damn.
great idea.
Fuck.
That is a great
JP
idea.
with the
And
bars
you know
today.
what? I want to fucking.
I'm out here.
I want to fucking
Google me.
be there. I want to be there when that shit happens.
I will tell you this much. I've been highly upset with what I've seen of Taker in the last few years, man. It's
Word.
been terrible. I'd rather not see it.
He's
But
old.
if we are there when he retires officially, tears will be shedding down my
Yo,
eyes
I
because
cried
the
last
man
year.
has been a standard for the wrestling entertainment business
Look,
for a very, very,
I'm gonna just
very,
say
very,
this.
very, 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 very long
I'm
time.
gonna just say this. I was at the Raw where
Very.
Sting appeared, and I cried.
Yo,
I don't know why I cried,
Sting
but I
is
did
my
cry.
guy.
Yeah, man.
Like, if I see Undertaker, the first time I see Undertaker in person, and it's gonna be his last match ever, my man's, I'm crying.
Yo,
Oh yeah.
yo, I cried last
Like,
year. I thought it
that's
was
it.
it. I thought it was it last year.
People, people
Taker and
cried
Shawn
when
I
Michaels?
cried.
people cried when Jordan, right, played his last game.
Yeah, but that's a fake sport.
Talk to
Yo,
him,
no,
Steve.
but you're talking about one of the
Talk to
best to
Steve.
ever do it.
Yeah, that's cool though. But
Ending the finale.
Some of the best to do it on Raw tonight.
Talk to him, Mischief.
Ziggler,
we're not talking about
Ziggler-
Brie, right?
ZigglIntyre,
Mm.
ZigglIntyre,
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, all right. You heard it here first.
ZigglIntyre, and the
HBC.
Revival.
Mark
Put on a show.
Yes,
According
sir.
to like backstage reports, Vince was really on this match. Like he really liked
It
this
was
match.
a great
He was up
match,
on it.
man. You have
money.
4 gentlemen that can go in the ring.
Yo,
Morgan.
they cut the ring in half, man. Both teams, and yo, they really put on the show. They really did. It was like watching the main event. They really should have put this on the main
Hey.
event. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe Ziggler because Ziggler and McIntyre retained, but this could have been on the main event easily. Great fucking match.
We've been talking
You
about
got-
the Revival for a very long time. They need their justices. They needs to be due. They need the tag titles.
Look,
They are money.
I said
They
look.
are old school. I know you said look, and I'm looking at you, but you ain't saying nothing.
Yo, he's still
I don't care. This is my show.
No, you have your own show.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
right.
our show, bitch.
Savage.
Oh,
And that's what the
Damn,
Revival
yo.
said. Where
All right, well, I'll see you guys later.
I'm just
I'm
playing.
peacing out. Maybe I'll never come back. I think I'm gonna have my own show now.
Good luck
Oh, no.
with your 6
His
followers.
feelings are hurt.
How about the Kevin Owens show, fellas?
you know I love me some Kevin Owens show. Fuck
Hey, but how about his live band and Liars? Dog, this is money. This is exactly
You know whose money?
Finally.
Leo Rush.
That's right,
That's
baby.
right.
Leo fucking
23 and gold.
23-year-old.
23-year-old gold,
Oh,
baby.
Gold, I believe, is gold.
Damn, we gotta get that
Walking
right, man. We
gold,
got next
yeah.
week. I promise.
Not only that,
We're
yo,
gonna-
but he's also managing Bobby Lashley and Mickey James.
Mr. Charisma,
Captain
Bobby,
Charisma?
Bobby Lashley.
So
Hey,
it's
wait.
work.
Wait.
Lashley's McMash.
Wait. Quick 5-second appreciation for Captain Charisma. Come on, guys.
Yo,
Like, come on.
Come on.
Yo, he boxed
Come
his
on.
line. in the
Why
Big
would
Stack
you
Challenge.
even fucking say that? We're having a
Dude.
5-second appreciation and you're gonna bring up the botch?
That's it. 3 seconds. I was like, this is ridiculous.
too long. Yo, but Leo Rush is money.
Yes.
I thought the Kevin Owens show was money. Everything was
Yeah.
funny, dope, and the
Yo,
match wasn't too bad itself.
I saw
Shout out
something.
to the hype he got with Lashley, the hometown boy.
Yeah,
Loudest
it
time
was
I
dope,
ever
it
heard
was
that
dope.
shit get.
I heard he
Yo.
had a little beef backstage with somebody.
A word?
Yeah, so they brought in some like boxer or some shit backstage, and They don't like each other too much.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the specifics.
I just hope it was like a featherweight and shit.
Yeah.
You know, I got depressed at one point this week because I realized on Instagram they were posting the fact that he's gonna fight Noam Dar, and they had like their stats and the demographics up.
Noam Dar is my boy though.
And Leo Rush is 5'6".
That was tonight. That was tonight.
Yeah, it's tonight.
That's
Leo Rush is 5'6", yo. I'm 5'6".
Yeah, it makes me feel like a piece of shit.
All
right, you didn't have to say it.
He's like,
I said it.
I'm like 40 pounds heavier than her, but
yeah, but
still.
you ain't got the abs and shit.
No, I'm just saying I'm really short.
I know we suck. We are terrible.
We've
like
noticed.
that's
no, the Napoleon complex is real.
yo for real.
You know, speaking of Nia Jax, Nia Jax and Alicia Fox.
Nah, I wasn't.
Yo,
I wasn't
You're saying that
thinking
because she
about
likes
Nia Jax,
Napoleons,
but-
right?
Hey,
Like that.
I like
was a
Alicia
quickie.
Fox, yo.
yeah, it was a quickie.
The end.
Word.
I don't want to talk about that.
Damn shame.
Main event
Main
of the
event,
evening.
Shield and Corbin. He brought out the AOP.
So-
I loved it.
so
I loved
Corbin
it.
That was a
had to-
nice rub for them too.
Yeah.
He had to bring on a tag team, and he
You
brought
know,
in
everybody thought
the
about
Shield wannabes.
Right?
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
like
like
Shield
Shield
for
like
that. Thank you for that, because everybody
now.
looks at
Yeah.
AOP like, yo,
Yo, even the branches of the military use different equipment.
All right, I'll give you that.
Just black,
They should have
yellow.
just came out in fucking like airplane costumes. All right, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, why they gotta have those vests? What are they doing? They're
Yeah, they
wrestling.
should have.
Ain't nobody
Like,
surviving.
Just
like,
wait till they come out at a pay per view, then you'll understand what they're going for.
No, I understood what they should have been
you
going
obviously
for a long
haven't.
time.
You obviously
And then
haven't.
they let go of Paul Ellering, right?
Damn.
And then
Good.
that's when it went
Get
to
rid of that
shit.
old ass
And then they
and
put
bring in Drake Maverick because
Yeah,
he's the truth.
He has to say
A month.
shit.
It's been like what, 2 weeks?
it's because they were
It's
bringing
closer
along
to
their
a month.
little
Maybe
brother. That's what it was.
They brought out a little
Alright.
piece of shit. Is
They
what they brought out. That
Squeakscalary.
motherfucker hasn't said shit.
Yo,
And
but
I don't know what. I still don't understand it. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm just waiting for
Right.
Paul Ellering to come down the ramp
You had a
on a
mic.
motorcycle
Look.
with a puppet on the top of the motorcycle like he did in WrestleMania in
90?
Wimbledon Stadium.
90? What was that? 89?
92?
Some shit?
No,
92?
90?
Wimbledon
89?
Stadium?
Wembley, yeah, just at
Wembley.
Wembley, yeah.
Yeah, you
Brett and,
millennials don't know. You millennials don't know. We
Brett
know.
and
We don't either.
British
I don't
Bulldog,
remember
right?
I wasn't thought of. So.
Great SummerSlam.
You weren't thought of. Oh, I was already.
Shit,
You're already like 34.
I was already fucking it.
Old school. Old school. How old were you when the Legion of Doom came out to battle the Money Inc. for the tag team championships in the opening bout of that SummerSlam?
I feel like I was a decade in.
Shit.
A decade in. That's 10 years.
So War Dogs came out,
And
sat
then
on
they
the
sat
stage, and
They
it was
pretty much peaked the whole match.
Bronquilo.
Yeah.
Bronquilo. Shout out to whoever came up with that.
Bronquilo.
No.
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 Holla.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not the same thing.
Nah, but the match was dope, and then the ending of the match was dope.
They
and,
should have cut TV a little sooner, but
Why do you say that, Lee Steve?
Go ahead, tell us the ending of that match.
they foreshadowed Dean turning, on the Shield.
And the
But
crowd
then
was crazy.
They were going crazy for it. You should have shut the TV off right there.
Turn.
Because what we
Once
had
again.
after was an abomination of seeds planted. Like, why would you have him go back into the ring like that?
Nah, you continue this. You let the
Yeah, but you cut the TV right there because that's more powerful to me.
Mhm.
Him sitting on the outside, not knowing if he can trust anybody. You come back next week. He
Nah,
comes
I
out
I know
with
that.
his
I
voice.
know that.
you
It leaves you
can-
hanging. It leaves you hanging.
you
It's
can
a
still
cliffhanger.
do this.
We haven't
again.
had a cliffhanger in forever.
It's right. He's right. He's right. Yeah. It's a
Listen,
cliffhanger.
you want to drag this out as long as possible. All right, he comes in the ring this time. Next time, they're a little more subtle about it. Maybe he won't come to the ring. Maybe he just walks away. Like,
Okay,
remember,
but-
they dragged this out now a couple weeks.
The only thing I
But
don't
let me
like
tell you
about
this:
that,
if they cut it off like that, right? Don't you want to watch Super Showdown now?
but
See what Ambrose is
don't-
gonna be at. What side is Ambrose gonna play now? You
but
know?
that's
you don't think
that
they're
seed is still
running
planted.
with it? Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
think
no,
so?
no.
I don't think it's planted
And
anymore.
That seed is still
You're
planted. but
so look how comfortable you are with saying that it's not gonna happen.
no. I know Ambrose. I feel Ambrose will be the one to turn the next time around.
You think it's gonna happen at Super Showdown?
No.
Exactly, dog.
Okay.
What Mischief
Okay.
is trying to say, if you do this
Okay.
now, you have to do the Super Showdown.
no.
Nah, you don't have to do shit.
Either
He
way,
can still turn.
Either way,
course.
you don't have to do it right away.
Yeah.
There's still
But-
scenes playing. I feel like
But
it was
dope
a more
for
powerful
television.
scene.
Nah,
Yeah.
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying, though.
Don't forget TV. Guys,
Speaking of doper TV,
yo, SmackDown was perfect.
Perfect.
But we gonna get to that. JP, why don't you run down SmackDown to start off the show?
I think it's interesting that we say SmackDown started off to be perfect, and you open up with Truth TV.
Nice.
Yo,
Honestly,
this
the
shit
best
was
TV
fucking
I've ever
Yeah,
hilarious.
that
seen.
shit was funny.
Yo, shout out to Twitter going crazy.
Yo.
Shout out to Carmella's hair. I don't like it too
Oh.
much,
Shout out to
but
them pants.
Shout
I'm
out
with it.
Shout out to Daniel Bryan legitimately laughing when there was a
Yeah.
7-second dance. He's like, yo, you get
Shout out to the
7-second
7-second
Second
dance
dance.
break. Yo,
that kind of reminded me of Edge and Christian.
Yeah,
A
yo,
little
interesting.
bit, a
Interesting.
little
I can
bit.
see that.
It was
I
cool.
mean, I they do have good chemistry together.
They really do.
I mean, and
They
it,
really
and,
do.
and, you know, the fact that Mella was champion and she was heel.
I like
right
how they
now,
transitioned
I'm
her.
okay. This is
I
okay
like how
with
they
this.
transitioned her out of
You know
that
what I mean?
role.
Our
It's-
truth
Word.
is a treasure. It needs
Yeah,
to be
man.
protected
Yo,
at all
word.
Yes,
and I'm
man.
appreciating it now. 'Cause
Yo,
I hated him
honestly.
all
me
this
too. Me
time.
too. I never
Honestly,
really
I'm
realized.
appreciating it
The
now.
last couple weeks.
Thank God, yo, we got a vet like that can still, change it up and do something.
You know what it is, man?
He does his thing on the mic.
I think you know what it
Corey
is. I
Jones.
think as our wrestling palette, becomes more sophisticated, we're able to really pick out those
Don't talk about
little
palace, man.
intricacies, right? That make a wrestler great. And like we've talked about since he's come back, he's been able to put on good matches with people that have had
Dude, he's like
matches
he's
for a long
like
time.
70
like
years
Nakamura.
old. He's having
Like
great
Nakamura.
matches.
He had a great
still.
match with
Yeah,
Nakamura,
we'll
man.
get to that. We'll
You
get
know what I
to
mean?
that.
So like,
But the segment was money.
Yo, but-
And you know who fucked up the segment? Miz.
Which is a shocker.
Which is a
That kinda-
shocker.
that
and you know who was supposed to fuck
That's
up
what she
the
said.
segment? Brie.
Savage.
Well,
She botched that shit.
Well-
that's for another day.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Truth
it
puts on-
took an hour to set the matchup between R-Truth and the Miz.
But
for the
what were
opening
they
bout,
wrestling
but it was
for,
great.
Vic?
Miz
Yo.
TV.
The
Come on.
battle of the shows. Good shit for R-Truth to say
Yeah.
some shit like,
He's like,
you didn't
"Alright,
have a belt,
I'll fight
but
you
I beat
for
you
it."
last week. And that would have been mine. So I'm going to just take your show.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And he had a
Yeah.
dope match with the Miz last week too.
Yup.
Yeah, man.
And this match, no short
No.
of
What
Of
happened
course,
after that,
man.
JP?
Well,
Well,
Hey, take a picture of that motherfucker.
yo,
That's what Becky Lynch told Charlotte.
Becky fucking Lynch.
I finally get it.
Yeah.
I finally get it.
It finally works. It feels
It finally
authentic.
makes sense.
It
Yeah,
got that
feels
off.
authentic.
She got that off.
You have Charlotte
she's
on a
not.
photo shoot, right? And out of nowhere comes Becky Lynch, attacks her,
Toma, cabrón.
right? But not only attacks her, has the cameraman take pictures of her while she's kicking her ass.
Yup.
We see
Bars.
on that.
Puts her leg on top of her while she's lying on the ground, raises up the buns to take pictures of the champ now.
Yo, that's money. That is
Yeah.
money, son.
Oh,
That is
Matt, we
money.
thought Mello was
God.
money.
Nah, Becky's
Becky's money.
You know how Innie's cancer said that the thought of like the next going to the playoffs makes his nipple hard?
I thought that was Dana Brooke.
Oh, hey,
Shout out to Dana
shout
Brooke
out
and
to
Inez
Dana
Cantor.
Brooks. Mm.
Hey,
Yo,
we
that-
need more of that.
power couple.
You know who was a power couple? Big E and Sheamus.
Oh,
Yo.
powerful.
What about Nia
Hey.
Jax and Enzo?
This is a hot
Oh,
fight.
shit, my bad. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about it. My bad.
Oh.
What is
Shout out
continuity?
to
My
Big
bad.
Cass performing soon.
But Big E and Sheamus, they put on the show too. I thought
They
this match was good.
definitely
It's a
did.
house fight. It was a nice,
Yeah.
heavy fought fight that I wish
Sweaty.
would have gotten the upper hand there.
Yeah, but you know it's
Sweaty,
fine.
oily.
It's
I
fine.
know, I know. But
Did you
I
guys
wanna-
hear about the heat behind this match though?
Nah, but
Nah,
I heard
the
Corey
Twitter
Graves
beef?
talk
Yeah, the
about
Twitter beef.
Corey
What's
Graves
that?
talk about the special pancakes. Holla, knowing that he was
Oh.
in Denver.
Oh, he said that. I didn't hear
Yeah,
that
yeah,
piece.
yeah.
Ah, I missed.
This barbecue sauce that I just bought?
Oh, JR's.
No, maybe.
Hey,
Is it white?
hey,
No. It's a special barbecue.
So apparently, when Big E was down in the developmental, and I think FCW, Sheamus used to go around like down there, like pretty much throw his dick around.
This
And
is while
like-
Sheamus was the champ too.
This was
Yeah.
also while Dick Slang was a big dance. It was.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
mean that's always.
Shout out to
and
Joey Ryan.
and it seems like Big E wasn't a big fan.
Yeah. So that surfaced. So it would have been nice for him to get a W. That's exactly what I
Nah,
think he
it's
should've
the
won.
battle, not the war.
I mean, whatever. But I don't know.
That's
I wanna
like
see him
saying-
take wins. He takes a lot of losses for that team,
Yeah,
man.
fuck it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
He does take a lot of losses for that team, and like it doesn't hurt him as much. But
I think that's why
I'd
he
like-
takes it.
I'd like to see him start getting W's.
No, we've talked about him getting a title run. You know what I mean? It's due time.
What day was it? Yesterday.
It was Rusev Day.
I'll tell you what it wasn't.
Happy Aiden Day.
Was
baby.
it?
It wasn't Lana Day because
Oh.
unless she was in Milwaukee.
Hey,
And guess where they were?
Denver,
Denver.
Colorado.
Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. So this fucking, I don't get it.
No, there's been stress in the family, right?
Or
Lana and Aiden English have been going at each other.
Yeah, they have.
And at this point now, apparently, and at this point, they're in the backstage and they're going at each other. And Aiden English, lets Rusev know that Lana lies.
Damn.
Or Lana withholds information, right?
Yeah.
She's a really good
And
wheelbarrow.
next week he'll tell us
Shout
what
out.
happened in Milwaukee.
Shout out to
Milwaukee.
Badass Wives.
Now, shout out to Denver for chanting Milwaukee half the night. Which
Yeah.
was amazing. People in Milwaukee don't chant Milwaukee. I watch Bucks game on TV and nobody chanting for the Bucks.
Yo, I haven't heard one Milwaukee Brewers
What?
chant.
You know
And they're
what?
almost in the playoffs. Like,
and
you know
Denver
what?
was wilding.
And you know what? And shout out to The Rock, because apparently he knows what happened in Milwaukee too.
Yo, so the episode that The Rock came back, right, and it kind of was just ripping on everybody backstage. He went up to Lana. He goes, "Yeah, how about
the one
how
like
about the one night in Milwaukee, right? We did the Milwaukee wheelbarrow or whatever." So I think that's the video that Aiden English is gonna
Yo.
say that he has video evidence.
Nah,
of.
I hope
That's
it's more
money
than
right
that.
there if that happens.
That'd
I
be
hope
really
it's more
funny
than that.
though.
I would love to see
That'd
that.
be really
man.
funny, and
Why
it would
not? Why
still,
not do it? Yo, Vince.
speaking of The
Handle that.
Rock,
It would still handle the feud.
SmackDown 1000. Is he showing up?
Oh, he has to.
He has to.
He
at
has
But
this
do
to.
you
point.
but
Has
do you
to.
honestly wholeheartedly believe he will be
Okay,
there?
let me.
The Rock show.
Thanks for bringing that
Yeah,
up.
but do you really think he will be there?
Steve, when is that drop in SmackDown 1000?
You're asking the wrong
This is
guy.
the
man.
test. This is the
3 weeks.
in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
In 3 weeks.
it's coming
3 weeks
up.
time. Well, I got this news feed from WrestleFeed.com. I mean,
Where does
you know,
it take place?
We don't know the credibility of this site. It's just he say, she say bullshit. But according to the dirty sheets in Saudi Arabia, those officials out there, they want old school legend The Rock to appear at Saudi Arabia for the crown jewel thing as WWE champion or win the WWE championship. Willing to pay.
Hey, how
willing
about
to pay
this?
$20 million for his appearance.
How about this? How
Oh.
about this? Fuck them.
Hey,
All right?
that
They don't get to dictate our product. Fuck
Why
that.
not
We
bring them
just
back
bring
for-
that shit to them.
Why not bring him back for 1,000 though?
How
If you're
about
gonna
we-
do this?
Nah.
No.
No.
Hey,
Hey, you know what? That's a valid point. Like if you're
No, it's
gonna,
not.
if you know that this is even a possibility,
if
you
this
gotta
could be
get
a
Rock.
possibility, maybe
No, it's
these
not.
guys are on.
Let
Let him
Wait and see.
interject himself as the fatal forward.
I
No,
say
it's
we
not.
say we see what's up with 1,000. Let's
Yo,
see how it plays
1,000
out.
is easy.
But
1,000 is easy. All he has to do is show up in a 3-5 minute segment, and
I
that's it.
and I want you to
Promote
realize,
your movie, fucking do your thing.
Elite Steve, I want you to realize that we're talking about this like
Don't
this
say
could
my
be a-
name like that.
Elite Steve.
All right, yeah, there we go.
We're talking about this like it's gonna be a possibility because I don't see Vince McMahon turning down $20 million.
Alright,
I
but
don't
listen,
see the
I-
Rock.
listen,
I
listen.
think Vince
let me be
sees
fair.
20 million
Let me
like
be fair. It does get deeper, and it does say that they have an intention with having him fight Roman Reigns at Mania. And
Exactly.
35. I don't think that's gonna happen, guys.
I think that's
I
the
mean,
idea.
Dirty Sheets noted last month the WWE officials have discussed Roman Reigns versus The Rock for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 35, and Rock is reportedly set to make $4 million from that one match if it goes down. I mean, come on, like
It's gonna go down. They have already footage, him in previous years, pushing him, saying he can do it. He's the next one. Trying to, that proverbial passing the torch. They
Listen,
tried that bullshit
only-
a while back.
Only
Listen,
if
I don't want
Rock-
to see it. I
Rock's
don't want to
gotta
see
come
it.
out with Tamatanga and just make this shit a
Oh.
whole.
I want to see that. I want to see that. Wait, hold on. I want to see that.
Tamatanga.
No, say how you just said.
Tamatanga. Nah, man.
Potaki Honda.
Major
dope.
world.
Yo, I
I
mean,
guess I'll take it. That's okay,
it's food for thought for now. But let's move on, JP. What happened after that?
Then you had a face I haven't seen Naomi make in a while. Yeah, she had. she was warming up backstage with Asuka, and Asuka was kicking those bags, and Naomi looked frightened. But you had a tag team match versus the Iconics, and
Yo,
No. Versus,
Shout out.
Mandy Rose
Mandy
and
Rose.
Sonya Deville.
They were at commentary though.
yo,
That's what it was.
But it's easy to get sidetracked because Peyton Royce with her hair up.
Shout outs not
Australian
letting them
beef.
talk though. Like they cut them off right when they were about to fucking be annoying as fuck on the mic. They were just
Yeah.
like,
Yo, right?
which is okay.
Yo, they gave it to Saxon though. They gave it-
Shut up, Saxon.
Yo, I be saying that shit at live events
me too.
man.
He's a
Hey, yo, shut up,
cornball.
Saxon.
10.
This
10,
is gentlemen.
10.
This is why I told you SmackDown was perfect. JP,
Ooh.
tell them why.
Was it
Taking a
because
long
the
time
Perfect 10 came out?
Well,
Ty Dillinger?
well, he had a match with Nakamura, right?
With Knock America.
Knock America.
So
This is
Ty
what you do.
Dillinger, the Perfect 10, coming out here having his match with Knock America.
Yeah,
Doing work. Yo, it was a pretty dope match. He did his business.
no doubt. And everybody, the crowd thought it was, it was a squash. I mean, I thought it was too until what happened later.
I mean, it was just a setup to.
Yo, Steve.
Hey, what's happening?
Yo, what?
Yo, it's not even Halloween yet, bro. What the hell?
Yo, Steve.
We're still in September.
Yo, who was that, yo?
I don't know. Steve.
Yo,
Yo,
Someone
what
just took
happened?
Steve?
Yo, they just took
They
Steve.
just took him.
son.
Yo.
Fuck him.
Yes.
Wow.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him right his dirty mouth.
Anyway, so Nakamura Dillinger, right? So but the crowd, they was shining Mike Chioda, disrespecting,
Whatever.
typical heel crowdness that we've probably all played a hand or role in.
Until-
Slammy Water winning hand.
Until
The dopest
they
part of the night.
finally, and you know what? It would have been fantastic if this was like a all of a sudden move based on how the crowd was behaving. Like if they saw that the crowd was like
Yo, you never
shitting
know,
on his
man.
match, like, you know
never
what, Randy?
It could
Get
have
the
been.
fuck out there. Randy Orton comes out and delivers on his promise.
Nah,
He don't
this
attack
is an angle.
Nakamura.
This is an angle.
He does not
Yeah.
attack Nakamura. Who
Not
does
at
he
all.
attack, JP?
Ty Dillinger.
Oh,
Dope.
the perfect.
Yo.
Never in my life have I been so happy for someone to get their ass beat
Absolutely.
and put on top. Yo, please give this man the time he deserves.
Yo,
This man was getting super kicked in the early 2000s backstage by Shawn Michaels when DX was trying to make a comeback.
word.
Come on, man. Give this man
He's
his
paid his
shine.
dues, man.
Randy Orton, Ty Dillinger, I want to see it.
This
I need
will
to
be
see
a
this.
nice feud.
I need to see Ty
Yeah.
Dillinger get his time, get his moment, get his shine, come up in the ranks. Yo, he got
wanna
skills.
see-
He got moves.
I want to see
Let him
the
shine.
ultimate heel stable right there with Knock and Orton.
Oh, I think they
lock
had
it
that
up.
right now.
Oh,
Right
what?
now. That's
To-
King
to unlock-
Shasta to Ty Dillinger in his head
Yeah.
The only-
outside the ring.
the
Yo,
only
King
thing-
Shasta to RKO, that won't be the dopest thing you've ever
The
seen.
only thing that worries me is that we're talking about two great wrestlers that can at times be unmotivated.
Yeah, but they're motivated when they're heels. And I don't know. I think
they're
Orton
motivated
brings
right
out the
now.
best in some people, man. You know what I mean? And I think that'll
This
be
was
legit.
interesting. I mean, you had them sort of teaming up. So let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm gonna tell you what happened next.
What happened next? Lana having some action with Becky
Lynch. Because you know who also found out about Milwaukee? Becky Lynch, apparently.
Becky Lynch had a moment there.
She definitely did. Squash match, obviously. But then you had this the main event.
Hey, so Paige all night had been teasing that, we all know how these contract signings go. Like, we all know how it is. We need some security. AJ, don't break no monitors. Please don't destroy the set. These things are building up, like the fact that, like, all right, you guys are just going to fight, which I liked because it made me feel like, oh, they're really going to brawl.
Yeah.
But the curveball is that Joe is chilling at AJ's house.
Oh,
Why does AJ's have his moniker on on his mailbox? Motherfucker has Styles shit delivered to him.
because he doesn't want to break kayfabe.
Wouldn't you though? If you're that famous.
I
mean,
guess sure, but it'd be like not with tape. You know what I mean? It wasn't like these sticky letters, dog.
Listen, that haircut's for a reason.
Oh,
They look like they got that shit at 99-cent store, man.
For
Those
real.
little letters.
Shout out to
But,
Dollar Tree.
But the angle, I loved the angle, yo. It's been
No.
a minute since we've seen
It
this
got
home
personal.
invasion.
The gloves are coming off, and it's gonna get real.
And guess what?
But it will only get as real as AJ takes it.
So we've been saying for weeks, AJ is the weak link in the match too, Papa.
Nah,
Keep
not
lying-
in the match.
Keep lying to yourself.
Not in the
No,
match.
I will say
he
in
hit
the
all his
match,
spots. He hasn't
he's
botched.
okay.
No bots.
But I'm
It ain't-
talking.
it ain't
What we're
nothing to do with
talking
bots.
about is when we're talking about an amazing match. We're talking about the investment,
Emotion, yo.
the investment of the people watching,
Storytelling.
the investment of the two individuals in the ring.
Okay.
Right? And when there's heat, there's heat.
Yo, you feel
Right.
You
it.
feel it. You
Right,
feel it in the
right.
You felt
promos.
the Rock and Stone Cold. You
Exactly.
felt Triple H and Stone Cold. Triple H
And
and the
this
Rock.
has that
Undertaker and
potential. This has that
Yeah.
potential
So-
because we know the greatness.
So we've seen them lock up before, right? In their pay-per-view matches. If they don't come out swinging at each other at this next one, it's all for nothing.
Yeah.
Let me take y'all back. We were just talking about this on Twitter. The Rock and Austin promo for WrestleMania 17.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at that promo, they're cut scenes where they're just staring at each other, having faces off. Yo, back then that was the money moment. But then there's a scene where Austin hits The Rock with his beer, and then The Rock hits Austin with his beer. Yo, and then they pause. Yo, but then they go at it.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
When that bell rings, I want to see them go at it like that. I want to see that, and then that's your payout, because this is the match. This is the one you're gonna see. No DQ, anything go. They can do whatever they want. I want to see it now. If you don't see it now, y'all right. AJ Styles is wet in the bed. He can't be trusted.
His house was not built. At the end of the day, it'll be a damn shame.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall.
But you are only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
The Shack Master!
Right here in the Silverdome. Hulk Hogan, we got a
You got a 33 and a third chance of winning.
This JR is the main event.
With this whole Brie Bella and Liv Morgan thing, I mean, we've been kind of talking about botches and stuff, and how to be safe in the ring and shit. But that brings us to this topic of the week, man. We're gonna talk about the botches of all the worst botches of all time, and we're gonna talk about some. We're gonna give you some shit, man.
All right, so look, we're gonna define botch.
Go ahead,
because my boy on Twitter was really specific.
Oh,
all right. You're right.
Shout out to Simon Gregory and the fellas over at the New Era Podcast. They show some love this week, and we got into it with a little. We got into it with him a little bit, and Mitch
a little bit.
But we gotta define botch, right? Because if you wrestle like there's no botch. Like there's no such thing as botch. Like there's chemistry.
No,
blah,
there's
blah,
botches
blah, blah,
because you know what? In every sport, there's mess ups. There's fumbles, right? There's turnovers.
I don't know why it's such a bad word. Like, yo, people are protecting Brie Bella, and people are like, saying, yo, don't say the word botch. Yo, there's no such thing. Mela said it. Lana said it. Like, Tommy Dreamer said it. Right? Taz apparently has something to say about it. So, but to his point, he talked about magicians and like, yo, you don't understand magic. You just see it. And it's about deception, so you don't know what's a botch. Listen, but I know when a magic trick is fucked up.
Yep.
Right? And that's what we're talking about, yo. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, yo, your live performance, fuck-ups happen all the time.
When an air ball occurs,
yeah, you gotta play with it. You
from
gotta
the
play
crowd.
with it, yo. It happens on Broadway all the time. You gotta adjust. You gotta do shit on the fly. Like, it's not. It's something you see, and so we gonna talk about it.
Absolutely.
Right? And I know what my eyes tell me. Yeah, it's a game made about deception, but you didn't see me then. You fucked that up.
Brie Bella right now, Spider-Man on Broadway. She about to get shut down, bro. All right.
But let's kick it into these botches, man. Yo, out of respect for my son, 6 years old, big John Cena fan. John Cena got hit in the freaking nose, man.
Seth Rollins.
There it is. Right? The one that everybody want to point to.
With like the ripcord or whatever.
Yeah.
And he caught him in the face with
one of the few that Seth. I think one of the few that Brett had an issue with, with Seth Rollins. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, shit happens, you know.
Did he do something Sting too?
Hey,
yo, Mitch, I think he knows.
But you know what? Seth has had plenty of knee injuries to pay for it.
Yeah, that's true. Sting turned to dust.
But you know what I'm thinking about, yo?
What's that?
Brie Bella last week when she hit the ropes.
Oh, like that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Suicide dive.
Which suicide dive? Because there were two.
And it was more of a suicide.
I'm sorry. I love you, Brady.
It's almost as bad as that time Hunter spiked that jobber.
Oh my God.
Marty Gardner, some shit like that.
Right?
Wow.
Oh
How to not take a pedigree?
What is that? May 28th, 1996. Spike pedigree on the top of your head.
You know, Hunter has had a couple botches himself. There was one botch with Ken Shamrock one time. He swung at him. He was hanging on the rope. He swung at him and completely missed. Completely missed. And then Ken Shamrock tried to sell it.
You know what match had mad botches, but nothing like super crazy? But the whole match.
Don't bring it up right now.
Austin Rock, WrestleMania 17.
We're not ready for that.
My favorite
faces are not ready for
match
that.
of all time. Legit. One of my favorite matches of all time.
Man, let me tell you, let me talk to the baby faces out there because I know you personally. And this man has had a gripe with this match. And trust me, I know Mischief.
I love this
Me and Mischief go back years. I'm talking about years. We've been talking about this damn match.
When it happened.
Go ahead.
We
Let
talked
him
about it when
know.
it happened.
Go ahead. Talk to him.
This match, my favorite match because it told a story. Right? Like they told a fantastic fucking story.
And that's why
I stuck through all the botches, the handing off of the razor blade, the fucking the phantom hits by The Rock.
It happened.
The stumbling over the stairs.
Rewind it.
Dog, like Stone Cold was sloppy, The Rock were sloppy, but they told an amazing story. And through the slop, you were like, yo, these dudes are tired.
Yeah.
Like they sold me like the grind. Botches can be part of the story. Like you can be good enough at what you do that people will see through the botches or they'll accept the botches for what they are.
But when the feud or the story is so strong, it doesn't matter, because that wasn't the same feeling we had when you had Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog, right? There was a bunch of botches in that match.
Word, yeah.
Bret Hart pretty much wrestled the mannequin for the entirety of that match.
You're right.
And people were still cheering at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And they did a fantastic job telling the story.
You know,
Hitman got.
You know who got? Enzo Amore.
Oh.
And you know who he got by?
Somebody that's not in WWE anymore.
Not even a somebody. It was a ring rope.
He got hit by the bottom rope. Knocked
The bottom rope.
Yo,
I thought you were saying Big Cass.
Is that a botch? I mean, it's not a mistake. Like
That's called get your ass to the performance center.
Word.
How about CM Punk winning a match against Dolph Ziggler, but not really? But the ref botched that. Yo, we've seen that quite a bit lately.
All right, but how about when
Have
botches get dangerous?
Ooh.
Like, I mean, we get these little silly ones and shit.
Like-
I bet guys' lives are on the line. Brock Lesnar botched a shooting star press that almost ended his life, bruh.
It almost ended
At WrestleMania.
Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 19, right? Kurt Angle with that shooting star press. But Brock Lesnar's got another one.
Brock Lesnar versus
Bob.
Bob
Holly, right?
Yeah.
Dropping him on his motherfucking
with the
neck.
stiffest powerbomb I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know who else had a really stiff powerbomb? Big sexy Kevin Nash on top of the Giant,
That's
aka
right.
Big Show.
Big Show.
Back in
man.
WCW.
slipped right out of his hands.
I said powerbomb's been the source of a lot of botches. Because I remember this other botch that happened where the Vianos, Raven and Canyon, doing a neck breaker and a powerbomb combo on Viano number 4, I want to say. Snapped his neck in half.
Damn.
I get old school
there-
good shit for that, but yo, what the fuck is that music, man?
Yo, was it Spike Dudley missing a table?
Shout out to that one.
Shout out to Spike Dudley being powerbombed by La Resistance after a match against the
There was
Dudley
no
Boys.
resistance.
Was that what they were doing? They
Spike
just threw
Dudley
him.
0.
Wasn't there a
My
big Rey
God.
Mysterio botch in WCW
Nah,
versus Eddie Guerrero?
There was one where he killed the guy.
Oh no.
That was a botch. Hey,
wasn't a
you know,
botch.
yo,
That
was
was
a
real life.
That was
We're not out here
guy.
talking about turnbuckles, so let's leave that alone.
Oh, damn, that wasn't the match though.
that was just the entrance.
Talk about Titus O'Neil.
Yo,
Titus
shout out
World
to the
Slide.
World Slide, yo.
Shout out to the gentleman that ruined his life on social media, the wrestler that couldn't enter the ring and decided to try to go over the ropes and quite flipped right onto his head.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Hilarious.
I think we posted that on IG. Shout out to our IG page, man.
How about the time that like Mark Henry pushed Batista with like a finger and Batista rolled behind, like 3 times in the ring?
You know, it's crazy. I heard that because of that botch, that's when they noticed him to put him in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. But he was supposed to play Groot.
And they were just trying to like get him out.
But then they found
I don't know about this being a botch, but it was definitely an injury, and you don't expect these things to happen. But Joey Mercury in that fatal four-way tag match with that ladder,
The
that
nose,
shit,
right? The nose.
shit.
Hey, that's a
His
botch.
nose
That's
is
kind of a
floating.
botch, right?
Yeah, that's a
when
mistake.
botches get dangerous, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. That's
that's
word.
crazy, man.
How about when Benjamin face planted?
that shit
in
was
the match with Jeff Hardy? Yeah.
Oh my
Jeff Hardy?
God, yo,
Yo.
we didn't even fucking. We watching it right
No,
now
it's
too,
okay.
folks, and it's just
Yeah, we
crazy.
looking
right
it
now.
up.
Can we say that Jeff Hardy's spot in Hell in a Cell this past couple weeks was a botch?
I don't
Was
know.
he supposed to senton?
It looked clean the way he landed. I mean, but we haven't seen him, so who knows, right?
I don't know. I think it was supposed to be a senton and he botched it.
Well, yeah, I think he was trying to look for the
so.
sense, right? It looked like he was swinging and shit. Yeah.
So if we want to talk about botches, how about one match that was literally a botch in and of itself? I'm talking about the July 8th, 2002 episode of Raw when Jackie Gata and Chris Nowinski, Chris Harvard, and JBL and Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
Jackie had not really done that much time yet in OVW at that point. Missed every single spot that she was supposed to hit. It got so bad that JR apologized in the middle of an announce.
Y'all gonna have to Google that one, man. But yeah, man, shout out to that shit.
Serious?
That's back in the dark ages of wrestling when nobody was watching. You know,
Just me and
old school,
basically.
Yeah.
Word.
Um.
Shout out to Draws.
My
Shout out
God.
to Stone Cold's neck. Then I mean, if we
Yeah,
was
of
going,
course.
that's a botch. He
That
fucked
definitely
up,
was a botch.
right?
Shawn Michaels' back injury to that when he fell to the
Shout
when
out-
Undertaker threw him out the over the top.
Word.
Shout out to the, go ahead, JP. Tell him, talk to him.
one of the most ultimate, the most infamous botches, the Shockmaster.
He couldn't even botch it.
You know for sure it's a botch when the people that you're performing with have no idea what to do. These gentlemen were baffled once this man went through this paper mache made of wall and fell flat on his face with his glittered Darth Vader mask.
We also got that botch that Undertaker did at WrestleMania 25 when he did that top rope jump.
Word.
And Shawn Mike,
yo,
he
shout
went
out
head
to that
first.
one, man.
When Domino missed catching him,
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
ending
What
his
the
career.
fuck, man.
Word.
These are fucking like life-threatening fucking.
How about
botches,
Sabu
man.
and Rey Mysterio?
Yo,
Right, that DDT that knocked them both out.
That ECW
Yeah,
one night stand.
yeah, one night
2006.
stand. Yeah.
Shout
That was
Speaking
a
about
botch,
Sabu
huh?
and ECW, remember that time Chris Benoit earned his name by crippling Sabu?
Remember what Chris Benoit did?
That's not really a botch.
Oh my god.
That's called life.
I don't know if this is a botch, but Vader was trying to eat Mick Foley's ear. He's like, let me get a piece of that.
Yo. Oh my god.
Vader's had his own issues.
Joey Mercury's nose. Yeah, we saw that. Chubby Flacco, you brought up the one with Psycho Sid, right?
Psycho Sid in WCW.
Yeah, man. That was kind of a botch, I guess.
Yeah, you know what was one of the biggest botches, yo?
Talk to him.
Hollywood Hogan.
Who?
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Hogan.
Awesome. But you know, that's not the only time Hogan has had a botch. He almost burned Ultimate Warrior to death in WCW.
Yo, I mean,
Stop.
somebody botched against Hulk Hogan when Booker T was like, Hogan, I'm coming for you.
But
How about
the Hardy Boys had a couple of botches, pretty famous.
But see, they were allowed to.
Yeah,
Because they'll do some crazy
with their
shit.
style, you could barely tell at that point.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that
shout
shit
out-
looks like it's supposed to not happen.
Shout out to Shannon Moore stepping on the ring rope, and making Matt Hardy fall during the entrance.
Oh my God.
I know that one went viral.
Nah, but how about when he was facing Funaki and Takuma Jinoku and he fucking did that poetry in motion? He landed on the ropes. It was supposed to be like a dope flip.
It wasn't
Psych.
it wasn't in much motion at all, but yeah. Definitely, man.
How about Vince McMahon's quads?
Oh,
Vince's quads, yo.
Oh,
My
kidney.
God.
Never.
Billy
Oh,
Kidman.
I forgot about that shit. Billy Kidman doing a shooting star press and lands outside, yo.
Yo, that's crazy.
What
That is
about Adrian Neville's ankle against Jericho?
Oh
Where the
my
referee,
God,
where Jericho was literally
yo.
telling the ref to stop the match.
We haven't
Word.
seen Neville since, right?
Word.
Or no, I mean we probably have after that, but I mean I
205.
don't remember him after that.
I mean, there's just so many
There's so many
botches.
times
because it happens.
it does happen, guys. And
We
you know
are
what?
human beings. We're not perfect. Not everybody
And
is
again,
perfect.
we're not just picking on Brie Bella here. This because what happened this week, and some people are on her side, some people are, but let me just say this: 99% of her fans watch Total Divas.
Word.
And they're not really too aware of what happens in the ring, and they
Until now.
Hey,
now they have.
Randy Orton botches all the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, he botches the RKO. And then, like, remember that time he was on the mic and he forgot the lines and he straight up was like, yo, Sheamus, what are my lines?
Yeah.
And then Sheamus was like, yo, you got to say this night. He's like, oh, all right. And then he just gets on the mic like nothing happened.
How about
Everybody's
that time
like,
in the production
yeah.
center, though, when he booked, well, you know.
That's on the board.
What about that time
Don't
he went
shake
for the
his hand.
RKO like 7 times?
Every night.
Because he kept missing.
There was that one time on a SmackDown when he was against facing Kane and he fell through the hole of the announce table and he played it off.
Oh, yeah.
He was laughing.
Yeah. It's funny. He breaks kayfabe all the time.
Yeah.
How about the time Jericho was gonna hit CM Punk with a Jack Daniels bottle that exploded in his hand?
Yo.
It just popped in his
Talk
hand.
about corn syrup.
Let's take it back to TNA. Let's pick on TNA a little bit. TNA.
We'll be here for an hour.
That company
Scott
was
Steiner,
a botch.
Scott Steiner botching that little spot where Christian Cage apparently attempts to smash his face through the steel steps on the outside, but he just falls himself. I think that was. I want to say that was TNA. I'm sorry,
TNA?
but
It was
I could be wrong.
It definitely would have been TNA.
It was a botch.
Definitely a botch. But yeah, these botches happen, man. I mean, we're not picking on Bree here. We have our opinions. Y'all have yours, and that's pretty much what it is.
I'm surprised Mischief hasn't mentioned one of the worst botches I've seen. I actually was reminded about it today. The Rock and Rikishi.
I wasn't sure if it was brought up.
Yo, it was
Yeah,
not
what happened,
brought up.
yo?
Tell him, man. That's your story to tell.
Yo, Rock goes for rock bottom during SmackDown. Right, Rikishi doesn't know what part to bottom and what part to rock. It ends up the
It's
rock
gonna
bottom
be so bad. We're gonna have to post it on IG for y'all. But yeah, man, talk to him, man.
Yo, I'm
He
glad.
landed on his knees.
I'm glad I let you tell that one, yo.
Yo,
But you know what? Even the worst botch. Every time Vince McMahon took a Stone Cold Stunner.
Nah, how about when Donald Trump took his Stone Cold Stunner? That shit was awful.
What about when Linda McMahon would take a stunner?
word.
That was a botch.
Yo, would we say a botch was every time Vince McMahon got sexually physical with one of the divas?
Wow. Allegedly. But botches happen, fellas.
Yeah, botches happen. But yeah, fuck y'all. That's all the time we have for you guys this week.
Man,
hit
you're
us up
welcome.
on Twitter.
This is never be over.
Welcome back. No? Would I do that again? Man.
For JP Savage,
I'm
Old
here.
School Joe,
Goodbye.
Pretty Chubby Flacco, Mischief, and the missing kidnapped Elite Steve.
Yo,
Wherever you
somebody-
are.
Wherever the hell you
Somebody
are.
better get on that.
Nah, I don't care.
Nah,
We're not paying a ransom.
Damn.
Fuck them.
10
It's not in
counts
the
to 10
budget.
toed. We'll see y'all next week. Check us out on iTunes
Boom.
and all of that
Yeah.
good stuff.
Handa, budankin handa, lo que se entonces venida 12.